I don't usually do things like this. But this has been a long time coming. And the reason it took so long was because of things happening. First, I was working on a video, and then a friend was working on an exposed video I was helping with, and then they ended up quitting YouTube. So, this is the reason it took this long to even get this stuff. So, where do we begin? Well, you shouldn't trust Sheep. He's very much untrustworthy as a certain other GotchaTuber, who I will not name. But he actually was friends with that GotchaTuber, thanks to past videos showing their friendship. Sheep shouldn't be trusted for the fact that he backpedaled on a lot of his words before. When me and Cloud originally called him out in the community posts, he did backpedal, but only just to return with something new. And did the same thing again after we made our original exposed video. He shouldn't be trusted by any account. He just shouldn't. He lies through his teeth and even makes up stuff to get sympathy from his friends who are both legal adults. Now, I will never make fun of anybody with a medical history, but all Sheep has to do is change the year date. So if this did happen, all he had to do was change the year. And nobody else would know that it did. Not to mention, he constantly complained about Misty before they ever made up. Like, it proved me and Cloud's theory that he had an obsession with her. And now that they're back on good terms again, I have no doubt he'll just go back to his ways. Because his obsession is now back with him again. Not romantically, I mean. Not to mention, even one of his friends wanted Misty and Sheep to be a couple, but only in Gacha. Which I found to be very freaking weird. Especially from somebody who's like 20 years old. He's wanting this to happen. Not to mention, this isn't the first time a Sheep has tried something. Back then, when he was still just on Roblox, he tried to force a 13-year-old to do things with him. Like kissing, dirty roleplay. He knew they were 13. But he still continued. Now, you could argue it's back then. But I think it gives hints to what he's doing now. If anything, he would have dumped everything down just to start anew with Gacha. And I know this because his YouTube account, was made in 2012. I always thought it was a hand-me-down account. But it can't be now. I refuse to believe it. Everything he says to me is a blatant lie. Or something to try to make himself look like, well, a kid. His grammar is absolutely atrocious. And nothing ever changed. Ex-friends of Sheep even confirm this crap. He hasn't changed at all. And, to be fair, I don't believe he's 14. Many people believe he's way older. And the reason I believe this is because, one, when he does a voiceover in his videos, his voice is usually muffled, and you can't hear it. If you want to do a voiceover, you have to be crisp and clear so people can understand what you're saying. That's what I'm doing right now, and you can understand me. So what the hell's going on with him? He also could be using a voice changer to make his voice sound a lot higher in pitch than what it could be. It's just not fair, if you think about it. Why? Yeah. And the reason I never said anything about any of this to anyone is because, again, I had a video working on at the time, and I still gotta get started on my other one. But because my friend Cherry was supposed to make an exposed video, she wanted to make an exposed video on him. And then she just quit. after I kind of helped her with it. And I feel like I'm such an idiot for trying to rely on somebody else to do what needed to be done. And I knew about this information long ago. I knew it ever since after I put out the first original exposed video with Nightcloud. I knew it for that long, and I didn't say a zip of anything. Because one, I didn't want to just jump to conclusions. I wanted to wait until we had more evidence. And then everything else just kind of goddamn happened. I don't trust him. I don't want him to have a platform. And be fair, I think he should have... I think if he wants any good out of this, if he wants any good to come out of this, I think he should just leave YouTube. Just leave the internet entirely. Just like a friend of his did before. At least that's what we hope. Because I can't just continue to watch this cycle continue to repeat because people are refusing to acknowledge the fact that he will lie through his teeth. I know he'll go back to his ways with Misty. Trust me. He's done it at least 2 other times. What makes you think he won't do 3rd time's the charm, eh? I just can't anymore with him. I just can't anymore with him. I'm done. And I want everybody to know that Sheep is a liar, a manipulator, and potentially a pedophile. But even if he's not a pedo, a liar and a manipulator is what he is. And you should never believe his words on anything.